Hey, well, good evening, everybody. It is Brad.
And I'm Christa.
The Big Family Homestead. Holy mackerel, we've got some good news stories for you today.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff. We've got some cool sciencey stuff, cool
Just cool stuff
animal
in general.
stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a history lesson that I did not know, and it was super cool. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
To take a nap?
Soft and white.
We've been busy today, so. Have you been busy, mate? Stop it.
The kids wanted to watch The Sound of Music the other day. So here's how this works. The more you guys get engaged, it's a live show. This is fun.
Yes.
It's intended to be fun. We're not gonna be divisive like a lot of other places. We don't do that.
Nope.
We don't scare people. We don't. No, we just talk about good stuff that's going on in our world while we wait for more people to show up. Then we tell you some good news stories, and then usually we pray and say good night. That's it.
Yep.
So, while we're waiting, why don't you tell them what we've been working on the past 2 days? The video will be coming out tomorrow.
Yes. We've been building a covered hay feeder for our sheep and goat.
Yes. And the goal was to make it as cheap as possible.
Yes.
And we succeeded. It ended up, it cost us, which I was not happy about.
Yeah, we were hoping for it to be practically nothing.
But it was $40.
With the
hardware's going back.
Well, the ones that we used.
Going back. I've got it figured out.
The ones we used.
We're not gonna send it back. Basically, she bought some heavy duty hardware that we ended up not needing.
Right. I bought a bunch of hardware that we ended up not needing. But for the ones that we will keep on there, it was
grand total's $40.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is that I wish that it didn't even need to be $40. It could have been more like 10, but we ran out of slab wood from our buddy Ryan.
Yeah, ran out. So
if you're watching, Ryan, bring on over some No, I'm kidding.
No. We can't return that wood back to the store. So
it's already screwed in,
screwed on there, and already cut into pieces, and it's not gonna work.
Soft and white. I love The Sound of Music.
I do.
What's your favorite song? Hey, what's your favorite song in The Sound of Music? Scott, I know, dude, you're a Sound of Music aficionado. He loves The Sound of Music. Matter of fact, they can't go more than a month at their house without watching it at least once.
I don't think that's true, honey. I really don't think that's true. We
it
don't
must
know
have been
them
Dan.
that well.
It must have been Dan Peterson.
Yeah, no.
He's a big fan. What's your favorite song there, Dan? Good evening from Iowa. Hi, Kim. What's your favorite song from The Sound of Music? Actually, Crystal, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
Go. Mark, set, go.
Hi, Irma and Joyce, Meg, Pepper, Leah, C. Roberts. I'm so sorry to hear that you broke your wrist today. That is no bueno.
No good.
No. Pepper, Leah, Jamie, Scott,
Here, I'll bring
Dan,
it over to you.
Please don't do that. Just
there you go.
Okay. It just went foong.
What?
I couldn't read it. Rick and Donna and Alice, Jamie, Kim, C. Roberts again, Scott, Kim, Bree. And
I saw that Bree.
She hates
you
musicals.
hate musicals.
She hates them. Yep.
I saw that Bree signed up on the forum today.
Oh, very cool. Was it today? I thought it was the other day.
Today or yesterday.
Yeah. Except 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. That's a musical? I didn't know that. Huh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Nadine, hello. And Kim, I'm not sure if I hope I got everybody. If I missed your name, it was not intentional.
Zipping around. I'm moving screens around to make it easier. So other stuff that's gone on. Hope is training her horse Whiskey.
Oh yeah. Yep. She's still working with Puzzle.
Yep.
You know, she's working with both of them, and Whiskey is such a sweet little boy. Sweet little horse.
Yes.
And he's only going to get bigger, and he's just so funny. So he's got a spot on his chest that he likes to be scratched. Right. And if you stop, then he starts to scratch you with his mouth, which then he ended up nibbling. He bit Brad.
He bit me.
It was not.
I don't think it was intentional at first, but I think he was like you're going to pay attention to me, pal.
Right. You're going to scratch me back on my neck, and you're going to do it right now.
Yeah, I totally was that. So, okay, here's the thing, folks. Please go ahead and hit the thumbs up, the like right now, because what that does is it sends out to YouTube a signal for them to send out more notifications for the algorithm, because they don't. If you don't click the likey thingy, then it doesn't send it out. And more people equals more fun.
Right.
So, happy Hopi horse.
Happy Hopi horse, yes.
Yes. I will say, though, as a father and as a person who finally in our life, we're starting to get nice things. You know what I mean? Do you guys know what I mean? Like, have you ever had matching furniture in your life? Because we don't. We never have. But every once in a while, we get that glimmer of, I think we have like 2 things that match. And so from the perspective of a dad who's like, we're starting to finally get a few nice things. Just because we've been alive a long time. That's all why.
Yeah.
Not because we don't make a lot of money, but
No.
But now she wants to drag junk into my yard. She wants literal junk in my yard. And I have most of the yard is dedicated to farming. It's like either a garden or a sheep pen, goat pen, cow pen, your barn, the pasture. Don't start with me, pal. Don't you start with me. Don't you blaspheme in here. Name that movie.
Okay.
Don't you blaspheme in here.
So she wants
to bring junk into the yard in the only spot that looks nice. The only spot.
She wants to bring in some old tractor tires
and fill them up with dirt.
Fill them with dirt so that he can walk on them.
But she's also already got over there other junk.
I know.
I don't know. There was a girl.
It wasn't me.
I was trying to explain something to her. I don't even remember what it was. It was probably like on the phone.
You were at the gas station.
That's right.
And you were trying to
the pump wasn't working.
The pump wasn't working, and and he was trying to tell her that it was not working.
And she never did fix it.
No. So he's like, okay, clearly not getting any help from you. Move to the other person. Who did they help? I can't remember.
No.
Or was it again?
No, they just turned it on and off.
Yeah.
Go try it again. Thanks, man. Scott, you have to have yard art. It's part of farming.
No.
I have noticed that. That is a thing.
I know it's a thing.
If you guys are not familiar, Scott is absolutely correct. And he is one of my favorite things. See how we're working that into the musical?
Yeah, no, I don't like to have yard art. I want to have useful tools. Like
people put their old tractors
out to rust and decay.
No, I want it useful.
No, I want it useful, so we're going to keep it covered under the barn.
Yes.
I just don't want junk in the yard. So she bought a little kiddie pool, and has some jumps that she made out of some scrap wood, which I'm okay with that.
More junk.
And there's a tarp laying out there.
Just laying out.
Because it's stuff that they need to be trained with.
And she can't possibly put it up.
I know. That's the frustrating part. She needs something.
Hey, no.
I know.
You're the sympathetic ear when it comes to this.
I know.
When she wants to put more junk in the yard, she doesn't go to me. No. I just find out, there's junk in the yard. And by the way, there's another thing. And by the way, Scott, there is a difference between yard art and junk. I do think there's some cool, like, some people over there that live over by on the way to the camp.
The stuff and things.
All those cool old cars that people have. Those are neat. They look neat.
I think those are junk.
Well, they're junked cars,
yes.
But they look cool.
Right.
They're old cars.
So there's another place that's down the main highway that we live nearby.
The 3 trucks.
Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. There's another one. They just put gray gravel down in their driveway.
Yeah.
Looks really nice. They have an old Ford Model A. Ford Model A. I think that's what it is. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
No, we don't have to have one broken down tractor because that's not useful. It's out. It's gone.
Well,
Or fix it.
We'll bring the junk over to your house. How's that, Scott? So, okay, other things. This has been what consumed the majority of our week last week. Driving a long, long time to go to a doctor's appointment for like a few minutes.
3 days. Three
Cats.
different days. 3 different days. I could not get any of the appointments coordinated on the same day. I tried. Trust me, I tried. I'm like, oh, come on, guys. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. Can't you just... No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We can't.
Hey, one quick thing. Michigan Daffodil. Did you end up getting to sign up on the forum because she tried and it bounced her? I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why. Scout's on her.
Huh.
Scout's on her. Or if you're a Vulcan, we come in peace or something.
No,
We'll come at you.
We come in pieces.
We'll come at you with peace. So I don't know. Krista's probably looking it up right now.
I can look it right
We're
now.
going to try if it didn't work. So, by the way, if you guys don't know, on our website, we have a free forum. And it's designed for you to go on and chat if you want to talk with people who are local to you, maybe to set up barter groups. Yes, good idea.
Yep.
Meet people who are like-minded. Yes. Kind of feel them out online to make sure they're not crazy. This is a good thing, you know. And learn new stuff. Bulletproof Pastor here, he's actually posted some great posts on how to do different stuff. And so check it out. It's free.
Michigan Daffodil, it shows that you are a site member.
Did you? Well, you'll have to.
I'll email you with the email that you
We're all
signed
crazy,
up on.
says Bree.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta
So-
have a few screws loose to do what we do.
Right. So yeah, it is your account is active on there, but I'll email you when this is all done. So
All right, one last thing before we move on. So this coming week, Caleb is venturing out. Our little boy. He's going to be going on
he's 13.
He's going on a mystery retreat
Yep.
with the church, where he doesn't know where they're going, doesn't know what they're doing. They just say, "Here, bring all these items."
Yes. He has no idea what they're going to be doing. I know they're going to be canoeing. I know they're going to be hiking. They're going to be doing service project or two. I can't remember. And so they'll be gone. They leave Monday night. They stay at the camp, and then they'll be back on Saturday. So-
Gene Lee. We're talking about, there's a forum that we set up on our website. You go to bigfamilyhomestead.com, and there's a tab right there that says forum. And Old Glory Farm, you're saying you had a hard time getting on as well. I don't
but
know why.
it finally worked. Yeah, there's...
I don't know.
actually... No idea. Anyway.
Okay, ladies
So
and
yeah,
gentlemen.
Caleb's looking forward to that. He's been obsessing about it for the last month, I suppose, getting everything ready, and so
Yeah.
he's excited.
We'll talk about him in a sec here.
Yeah.
But here we go. It's time. That's right. Thoughts. All right. This is the time of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, where you, Bob, Meg, Scott, Crystal, Bulletproof C. Roberts, everybody who's on, first of all, you got to make sure you hit the thumbs up. That helps us out.
Yep.
It really does. And then the second thing is type in what you learned this week. What you learned. It can be short, can be long. But we should always be learning something. And so, Krista, why don't you share what you learned this week? What is your deep thought?
I actually truly love being and living in the middle of nowhere. I'll be honest.
Elaborate.
Well, because this
And
past
listen.
week, we went to Wausau 3 different days. And trust me when I tell you, the folks there are a little different. A lot of folks are just,
Oh, yeah.
they got their blinders on
Oh, yeah.
and they don't see anybody but themselves and what they're wanting to do. And
This was fun.
yes.
This was fun.
Yes.
Since we were in the big city, they have a Walmart there. And in that Walmart, there are stuff and things that the kids wanted to look at.
There's stuff and things.
Yep, they have both. They got stuff and things.
Nice.
And so this is just to give you a little taste of how our journeys went. I had to run back out to the car for something. I forget why.
No, you were going to get the car.
Oh, I was dropping you
because
off.
You dropped me
That's right.
off, yeah, because
Wanted to- yeah.
I had my surgery. It's been 10 days now, and so I'm getting back to normal. But
She was in the cart.
I was in the
mechanized thing.
yeah, running people over. And
It was
stuff.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But so this woman who's not, she drove in the wrong way. You know how the slots go a certain way? She drove in the wrong way, almost hits me. I beep at her just to get, just a quick beep. Hey, you're not paying attention. You're literally going to smash into me. And she was pulling in the wrong way into a wrong parking spot. And she didn't have, she shouldn't have been there. Let's just say she didn't have any handicap notification or anything like that. And she almost hits me. Then she goes to back up, almost hits somebody else. And I'm waiting. I'm just going, should I back up? I'm looking around. I don't know what she's going to do. Then she starts yelling at me for being wrong like 4 times. Like just full on yelling at me. And I just did the little beep like, hey, you're going to hit me right now.
Yeah. Hey, pay attention. Yeah. There's other people around you. So that's why I love being in central Wisconsin, where there's not a lot of big city people. Well, they like to come here on the weekends, but when there's not a lot of big city people, it makes me pretty happy. So
well, what I learned this week is there is no job that is beneath me, to be honest. If you've got to make money for a family, you make money for your family.
Yeah.
You do the dad thing, you do the upright, godly dude thing, and you just do it. Mm-hmm. There's no job beneath you. But, man, oh Lord, please don't ever make me a truck driver. If you don't mind, I'd appreciate that.
And elaborate on that, honey.
Just the going back and forth to Wausau, rude people, people like the lady that almost smashed me, and they get mad at you.
And now, don't get us wrong, not everybody is rude, but it's just a larger majority of rude in bigger cities. And it's just, it's harder to deal with sometimes,
Well, the Bulletproof Pastor, this is his quote, but I used to work with a guy named Zig Ziglar, and he used to say, you know what the definition of originality is? That's the ability to forget where you heard it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Bulletproof Pastor says, the older I get, the more I like my dog.
Yeah, no kidding.
And that's true.
And he just said right now, some people are so poor they can't even pay attention.
All right, Mom, you got to read a few things that they learned.
Okay, let's see. Jean Lee, being sick is very isolating. I totally understand that. Kim learned that salting cucumbers in the fridge before canning is for crispier pickles.
Nice.
Interesting. I learned I need to buy a shade cloth for my garden. No, I've never had to use shade cloth.
Cut the light, yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't have a problem with that here. Let's see.
Okay. Well, that's it then, I guess.
Found out I need to get rid of my sister's romance novels.
Oh, my gracious.
Yes, you do.
And on that note, that's what we learned this week.
That's funny.
All right. So, I think it's time, Mom. I think it's time. Are you ready?
Wouldn't matter if I wasn't, right?
Let's get some good news on. All right. You guys ready for some good news? If you haven't already, please hit the likey.
The likey button.
And subscribey. Does help. Okay, so am I odd or are you odd?
Oh, you are all odd, baby.
I am all odd this week.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Nora Langdon is a world champion powerlifter at 78 years young. Boom, here she is.
Oh my goodness.
Holding
gracious.
19 world records with personal records of 413 pounds in the squat, 381 pounds in the deadlift, and 203.9 pound bench press.
Oh my gosh.
If that wasn't already enough to get you up off your bum and into your favorite workout suit, Langdon started when she was 65 years old. And she was too out of shape to walk up the stairs in the houses that she was selling as a part of her 35-year-old career in real estate.
Oh, my heavens.
Celebrating a birthday party, a friend introduced her to Art Little, a personal trainer at Royal Oak Gym in Michigan. She came to watch a powerlifting meet and asked Little if she could go and do the same eventually. Little was hesitant, but started her off with the basics. Langdon estimates that she had 20 to 25 medals in her trophy room. Yeah, it'd be weird to have 25 meals in your trophy room.
Yeah.
Medals
Yeah.
in her trophy room. She has competed in 25 sanctioned meets and won 23 of them.
Wow.
In the 2 outliers, she failed to post totals, meaning that it wasn't that anyone outlifted her. When I squat, this is what I say. I say, Holy Spirit, fall on me. And I just do it. And I come right on up.
That's amazing.
Oh, cool lady.
Yeah.
I feel strength when I power lift, says Langdon, in the refinery's 29C doc. I don't know what that is. It must be documentary. A voiceover comment, she prepares to rip a deadlift. Some of this language is like, whoa, okay, that's interesting.
Definitely weightlifting.
In a pair of
lingo.
pristine Chuck Taylors. She means the shoes there.
Shoes, yeah.
Because it means I can beat the world. I want to inspire other women to take care of themselves. The most decorated power weightlifter in her class, Langdon competes in powerlifting 3 times a year at state championships, the nationals, and the worlds.
How many worlds are there that compete?
She competes in the world and elsewhere. She rips one off.
The
her
world
squat.
competition.
She says right here, she rips off a squat. What's the matter, honey?
Nothing.
I can rip a squat.
Let's not, okay?
No?
No.
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 She says, no.
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 You haven't been bloody busy at all.
Been bloody busy.
All right. I've been busier.
Yep.
Okay.
Then a cat.
Then a cat.
All right, next story is the cutest little... this is a great story. Not cutest, but it is a great story. A Nevada man may owe his life... I wouldn't say may. I think this Nevada man owes his life to the intelligence of his border collie after a real-world, quote, lassie led a search and rescue team to him. The man had fallen 70 feet down a steep slope in the Tahoe forest, breaking his hip and some ribs. The next day, he managed to crawl his way to a patch of cell service and call for help. Search and rescue pinged the location of his last call, while a friend of the victim told searchers look for Saul. The advice paid off when scouring the remote country. The searchers came back upon a white and black border collie jumping up and down, spinning around in circles. Saul had run about 200 yards through the forest to find the search and rescue team, and as sure as Lassie led him to his owner, who had erected a little shelter under a camouflage tarp. At first, we didn't believe it because it sounded like a movie, said Sergeant Dennis Hack of the Nevada County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue. When they came back and actually described it to us, the reality was that they had followed the dog directly to the victim.
Wow.
The team got a helicopter to the scene to transport the man to safety. Saul was taken to a nearby town of Grass Valley where he was given a well-deserved dinner while his owner receives treatment.
Okay. Now, cool dog.
Yes.
No doubt.
Yes.
Awesome story. Mm-hmm. However, there's a bigger part to this story.
Well,
This man had a broken hip and ribs, and he made a shelter.
Right.
That is one determined dude.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
thank you, Poochie.
Right.
No doubt.
Oh, definitely. But here's
wow.
the thing: if the dog did not find him, he would have died because he's under a camouflage shelter. I think
when you want to be
shelters,
found, you really need camo.
Well, no, with these tarps, they need to have camouflage on one side and like bright orange on the other side. Mm-hmm. You know, so that they can be easily seen.
That's a good idea. That's actually, and I don't think anybody's doing that.
I think
there's our millions.
I'm copywriting that right now. You can't. I'm patenting it. You can't use it.
Yeah. I thought that too, or caught that too, the shelter. No kidding.
Yeah.
Carolina guy. Hey, what's up? Oh, Lola Granola. She changed her profile pic. There you go.
I can't see it.
It's her face.
Oh, I can't see it. I still
It's
can't see
very
it.
nice.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. All right, next story. Now, this one, you got to stick with me to the end because this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'll have to wait on the picture because that will spoil everything.
Yep.
Everything seemed unreal. Everything seemed confusing when George was taken to the hospital. And then the shock wore off, and then came the pain. George owned a little Italian sports car he'd souped up himself, of course, and now he'd almost been killed in it. But George loved cars. Growing up, he thought seriously about becoming a race car driver. In high school, his part-time job was a garage mechanic. But with graduation only days away, 18-year young George had cracked up on the road. His lungs had been crushed, and all at once, not even his survival was certain. Before the accident, George's life had been wonderfully simple. Born in Modesto, California, he was reared on his dad's ranch outside of town. The boy never concerned himself with grades, although he managed to get by at Downey High. What made his teen years worthwhile was rock and roll, cherry cokes, penny loafers, and pointless, harmless fun. But he had an image problem at first. In fact, some of his schoolmates thought he was a wimp. His locker buddy, Dennis Kamstra, was always snapping him with a towel after gym class. That's what wimps get. But George achieved an identity through cars. His favorite pastime was cruising McHenry Avenue in the evenings, just cruising up and down the street in his souped-up sports car, revving the engine at stoplights, honking at his friends, and waving at girls. George's dad had thought it was all a big waste of time, but the boy never felt more like a man than he did behind the wheel of that short, as they called them back then. Kind of interesting how growing up works. For example, it had been a smooth transition from comic books to hot rod magazines. And the fair to lousy grades, that wouldn't matter. George reasoned for a professional race car driver, he wouldn't need them. But then, not long after his 18th birthday, in fact, George's car crashed, and in a hospital, a boy died. The boy died, but the young man survived. Overnight, his taste for racing disappeared. By the time George left the hospital 3 months later, he already made plans to enter junior college. Oh, and something else. Still recuperating, he became interested in photography. And yet, no matter how much he changed, and he did change, no matter how much his new future would take him from Modesto, and it would take him far, George remembered his roots. And he would fondly recall the pranks and the fun and the frustrations, and especially the marvelous, aimless innocence of his youth. And he would tell the world about it in motion picture. You see, George became a movie maker. That's right, the George who produced Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and so much many more. George Lucas. But there was a first commercially film success that he created, an unexpected one entitled American Graffiti. You remember that? So successful that it spawned the television series Happy Days. Well, those were George's own happy days right there up on the screen. The American teenage saga of a wimp who became a wheelman, who became a dream driver, and now legend.
That's awesome. I had no idea about that.
I didn't know that either.
No, that's cool.
I didn't know that either. No. That's pretty dang cool. Did you guys know? Did anybody know? Hey there. A lot of folks on. Mm-hmm. Are you enjoying the stories? Because we've got more, but we need a check mark or a thumb or something. We need some motivation. We need some tackling fuel.
We hope you guys like all this. Brad spends quite a long time. Come on now.
Tackling fuel. Mm-hmm. Just say yes or check mark or whatever.
Okay.
Any mark? Is that?
All right.
Go.
In a few years, you may just be throwing away your dental care kit, replacing it with a totally science fiction, shape-shifting robot that acts as a toothbrush, rinse, and dental floss in one. I don't think so.
It's true.
I know. I don't think so. So, the technology is poised to offer a new and automated way to perform the mundane but critical daily tasks of brushing and flossing for those who have difficulty doing so, such as amputees or the disabled, quadriplegics, or the elderly. The building blocks of these micro robots are iron oxide nanoparticles that have both catalytic and magnetic activity.
Negative. No, not happening to my mouth.
Oh, no, of course not. This is neat for those who can't brush their teeth easily.
True.
However, I can still brush my teeth, and I'm not going to do it. So, using a magnetic field, researchers could direct their motion and configuration to form either bristle-like structures that sweep away dental plaque from the broad surfaces of teeth, or elongated strings that can slip between teeth like a length of floss.
Huh.
In both instances, a catalytic reaction drives the nanoparticles to produce antimicrobials that kill harmful oral bacteria on site. Yeah, not ever happening. No.
No catalytic converters in my mouth.
Experiments using this system on mock and real human teeth showed that the robotic assemblies can conform to a variety of shapes and nearly eliminate sticky plaque that lead to cavities and gum disease. This is a really neat invention.
Not for me.
Not for me. So.
Not for me.
Yeah.
How many of you guys? Oh, they are already commenting.
Yeah. Nope.
No catalytic converters, little robots.
Nope. Nobody's putting robots in my mouth.
Yeah.
Or my body.
Can you imagine?
Nope.
I mean, they say that AI has already been created.
Right.
Artificial intelligence.
Right.
The Google guy came out. He got really in trouble. I think he got fired. But he said that they have created a thinking robot that acts like a teenager and is afraid to die.
Actually, I think I read some more on that. And this robot is asking for a lawyer.
Man. We're in trouble. And
We're
then
in trouble, folks.
You put that in your mouth.
Yeah.
Put that in your mouth.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we saw iRobot in oof.
I know
No,
it's
thanks.
I know it's fiction.
That's fiction, but
it generally
just down
comes
the
about.
road.
Comes about.
Yep. I swish with a Mio Silver.
Me too.
Its stuff is awesome.
All right, time for our only shameful commercial
Obscene profit margin.
obscene profit
what is it?
timeout.
Something like that.
Yeah, it'll be like literally a minute, 1 minute or less.
Yeah, right.
You go, girl.
All right, so we were talking about our forum on our website. Well, you can go there, sign up for free. It's free for you to use. We just have to approve your email. It's pretty easy. However, everything in our shop is on sale right now. You have to use the coupon code BFH10 and you get 10% off of everything. Everything you get in your cart, 10% off. So
one more thing too, and if you're not already a Patreon, I know I'm looking at names and a lot of you guys are Patreon help, and we really appreciate it because it's expensive to do this. And so even if you got $1, we're very grateful. The Patreon thing is there it is. That's it.
That's
Commercial over. Okay. Now back to the good stuff. All right. Here we go. This one's right up my alley. We'll see if you guys guess. If you know the story, don't spoil it for everybody. Okay, danger, Will Robbins. Yeah. Okay. There wasn't anybody in town who knew the music business better than Merlin Littlefield. This is a real person. Don't Google him. Just listen to the story. An associate director of ASCAP, he had seen the best and the rest come and go.
Wait, no, not a lot of people know what ASCAP is.
It's a publishing company that tracks, monitors, and pays out royalties for artists for all music. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll start again.
Sorry.
There wasn't anybody in town who knew the music business better than Merlin Littlefield, an associate director of ASCAP. He had seen the best and the rest come and go. It was getting so that he could tell on sight which was which. Then one day, this boy walks into Merlin Littlefield's office and says, "I want to be a songwriter." Now, old Merlin just looks at this fellow. Can't be more than 22, maybe 23. "What's your name?" Troy, the boy answers. Merlin asks, well, what have you done? Well, the fact was he hadn't done much. High school, college, nothing in music business really. Oh, he'd made a demo, a demo in a recording studio in a little hometown. Sounded pretty good, he thought. But what he was best at was writing songs. Music sort of ran in his family, he supposed, at least insofar as his mother had once sung professionally. It was she who had given Troy his first musical instrument, a banjo, which he taught himself to play. Well, meanwhile, Merlin Littlefield is muttering to himself, oh my, another songwriter, just what the world needed. And there was something else it did not need, one more broken heart. So for once, Merlin decided to stick his nose where it probably did not belong. He told the eager young man, he told him the rest of the story. He said, son, you've got two choices. You can stay here in the big city and starve as a songwriter, or, if you like, you can become a singer in a band and starve with 8 other people. Troy remained unconvinced. But neither could he say anything more, and the phone rang on Merlin's desk. The executive listened a moment and then said, send him right in. Then he turned to Troy and said, this is your lucky day. You're about to meet one of the greatest songwriters in the whole city. And moments later, the songwriter is standing there, but he seems ill at ease in his success. In fact, he looks downright worried, and then places a hand on Merlin's shoulder and confides that he's having trouble paying off a $500 loan. And they talk a little more, and the songwriter leaves. And Troy, the boy, is incredulous. It was a joke, right? About the money? I mean, nobody who's made it in the music business had to worry about $500. Merlin, his eyes cold, looks back at the boy and said, son, that's really how it is. I'll bet you could make that much money in 1 week at home. Well, the truth hurt. But hurting made it no less true. And it had been a nice dream while it lasted, writing songs for famous singers to sing. But there comes a time when either one grows up or else. And given the alternative, Troy chose to grow up. He returned home and went back to school. He enrolled in a master's degree program. Deep down inside, he never stopped hating Merlin Littlefield for all of that tough talk. And he never stopped loving him for pulling him back from the brink of certain disappointment. For if Merlin could discourage you, the young man reasoned, if Merlin could discourage you, then the rugged, uncompromising music business itself would probably kill you. Mm-hmm. By the way, the 23-year-old Oklahoma boy revisited Nashville one day, but this time he had waited until no one could dissuade him no matter what they said. And nobody did. And you know Troy, whose real first name is Troy, T-R-O-Y-A-L, but you know him by his other two names. Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks.
Mm-hmm. That's...
Yeah.
Wow.
Boy, you never know, folks.
No.
You never know. You know, we don't watch TV, but
Not you,
and we
no.
haven't for years.
No.
But when we did, we watched only a couple episodes of that American Idol, the singing thing, the show, right? Mm-hmm. It was popular. And they had that one guy on there.
It's still on.
It's
like 20 years now.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. That guy that was on there was Simon Cowell, the guy that everybody didn't like.
Yeah, everybody hates.
Let me tell you
Simon.
the truth. I've been in the music industry since I've been
30 years at least.
19.
Yeah.
Professionally from
Right.
19, but bands before that. But Simon Cowell has never been wrong in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's been a jerk how he delivers it. He delivers the truth in a bad way sometimes, but I've never seen him be wrong about an artist.
Yeah.
And what's horrible is that what happens is like Johnny or Sue, they come up through the ranks and they're singing at church and everybody tells them how great they are.
Right.
And mom says, "Oh, you're so wonderful. You're so wonderful." But they don't understand. They're big fish in small ponds.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy like Simon Cowell, he only deals with big fish.
Right.
So he doesn't have time.
Right.
He doesn't. And he's actually doing these people. I mean, he's doing it in a mean way.
Right, but he's doing them a favor.
He is doing them a favor.
Yeah, come on, wake up and smell the roses, folks. This is not,
It ain't sunshine, lollipops,
It's
and
not-
rainbows and unicorn treats.
No, it's really not. So, we have always said and have learned in the last 30 years, as a musician, it's feast or famine.
And it's more famine than feast.
Oh, right.
And for most people, for example, this is true story. I know I used to be a praise and worship director, and one of the people that was on my team was actually the brother of the country star Chris Stapleton.
Mm-hmm.
He's a huge Chris Stapleton. The guy's won Grammys. He's huge, and his brother told me that before he got that first big record deal, whatever that was, the song about whiskey or whatever, I forget.
Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah. Before that happened, he would have in his house no furniture,
Just a TV,
but
right?
a gigantic TV.
Humongous TV, yeah.
And then he said one day he could get a $5,000 check in the mail because he was a songwriter, songwriter first, and then he could go for months without getting anything.
Yeah.
And then he might get a $20,000 check.
Yeah.
It depends on who put what song on what record and did it hit.
Right. I think his house is probably full of furniture now.
I'll bet he doesn't have a problem paying the bills.
Pretty sure he doesn't have a problem playing. No.
No. Yeah.
No.
Chris Stapleton, he's super talented,
Yeah.
man. That guy. And you know what? I'll say this too, since we're on music. His wife does not get props.
No,
She
not
is as good as he is.
Yeah, not like she should. She
is ridiculously talented.
If you like country music, she does a song. He sings backup.
One of your favorite.
Oh, it's one of my favorite songs.
Makes you cry.
And I'm drawing a blank. You are my sunshine. It is
My
an
only
amazing. They do
sunshine.
such an amazing job. It's not on any album that they have done. It's on a compilation that I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, put it
Just
in
Google
YouTube.
it. Just put it in YouTube. You Are My Sunshine by
I don't know her name.
Morgan with an E at the end. Stapleton. It's phenomenal. So
Yeah.
love that song. I listen to it when I'm in the car by myself, and I can sing it as loud as I want, and
You can
be
sing-
off key.
You can sing near me anytime you want, baby.
No, it's I sing loud when I'm by myself.
Yeah, he's legit.
He is legit country.
That is true. And I don't. Okay.
Didn't he have a heart attack? Oh my!
I don't
hope
know
not.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I can say this. I'm more of a rock guy just because that's what I grew up playing. My dad was country. But Chris Stapleton is the true deal. And that's what's cool about it. It's like the new music now. It's like, are you trying to be rock or country? If it's country rock, I guess that'd be a crock.
It's a crock. Yeah.
Anyway.
There's a few different country artists I will listen to. Like I'll listen to Chris Stapleton. I will listen to Garth Brooks. But I am not a country girl. I don't listen to country.
Yeah.
But there's a few different
As we
ones
get
I
older, our
like.
styles are changing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep her moving.
Irma, she likes that kind of singing. So do I.
Keep her moving.
Just loud. Just loud.
Loud and
All right,
proud.
loud and proud. That don't matter if it's off key.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
This is just fun.
This is fun. A group of farmers found an epic way to keep cool by making a DIY swimming pool using hay bales.
Boom.
Yep. That's great. Absolutely great. Jack Smith and his friends spent 4 days building their own pool so it would be ready in time for the heat wave. They spent 2 days building the project using hay bales and hay bale wrap to create a pit, which they lined with big tarps, and then 2 more days filling it with water. Europe is sizzling under a record-breaking heat wave, and Britain is no exception. Many countries are experiencing wildfires and are recommending their citizens, especially young and elderly, to stay cool and don't take risks in the heat. The pals plan to keep the pool as long as possible for summer use on behalf of everyone who helped construct it. We were at the pub, and it was boiling, so we thought the next day we would build a pool.
Let's make a pool.
As a kind of hangover cure.
Oh, my gracious.
Said Smith, a farmer from Stratfordshire. The whole project took 4 days, and there was 13 of us working on it together. We couldn't have done it without working as a team. This is great. We were really happy with the result, and it's the perfect way to cool down in the heat. We're hoping to keep it for the rest of the summer, but already the water pressure has caused some leaks in the bales, he added. We've patched them up for now, though, so hopefully that does the trick.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Okay, this is funny too.
Yeah.
Same thing. Literally yesterday, we get a phone call from our son, Jonathan. You guys know Jonathan. Jonathan's a little bit nutty. He's a little bit fruit-bary.
A little bit nutty, yes.
And they're splashing around, and they're in a pool, and the grandson is there. They're playing. They're having a good time. They're
playing in the pool, yeah.
They're like, wait a minute. Where did you guys get a pool? Did you buy a pool? They had turned their truck bed into a pool, just like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Truck bed.
It's a little smaller, but yeah, it was.
Jonathan. Gotta love him.
Cracks me up,
Gotta love
kid.
him.
Cracks me up.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. This is a sweet story. Okay. Although the box in which it was mailed was travel worn, the gift arrived intact and carefully packaged into a large green leaves and wet newspapers. It was a present from Hawaii. It was a lovely necklace of living purple flowers, of which the islanders called a lei. And as the 83-year-old Miss Morton gazed at the colorful South Seas bouquet, she saw a smiling face in her mind, the face of the sender, her grand-nephew Russell. The young man, 25, a photojournalism student, had been in the summer time and studying in Hawaii, yet neither the miles nor the years could divide this devoted pair. The great-nephew Russell Ledbetter and his great-aunt Malvin Morton sent a wreath of purple flowers from the South Pacific, a simple gift, yet symbolizing a rare, remarkable relationship. That is the rest of the story. Malvin Morton was young Russell's Auntie Mame.
Oh, that's cute.
I guess you could say a relative who had come into his life at a crucial time and whose subsequent influence was immeasurable. Russell was only 5 when his mother and father had divorced. That first Christmas thereafter, the boy and his mother came to Chicago to stay the holidays with Auntie Malvin. And that's when the magic began. For into the world, bristling with instability, came a marvelous woman, 6 decades Russell's senior, and somehow strangely attuned to one child's emotions. The treasured present under the Christmas tree that year was a camera, a fantastic device that revealed a special talent in the small boy. The art of photography would one day consume him, and the fast friendship that blossomed that winter like a rose in the snow would flourish from then on and forever after. Nearly every year, as a young Russell was growing up, he returned to Chicago and to Auntie Mame. Each visit, they took in the windy cities. They marveled through the great museums of the cities. They admired the magnificent architecture of the town's churches and cathedrals. And they would pack picnic suppers for the outdoor concerts at Ravinia. They reminisced about the old times and planned new adventures. Later, there would be girlfriends in Russell's life, but only one best girl, Auntie Malvin. And all this past summer, she has received cards and letters from Hawaii, from Russell, who is now 25. One of them said, "You have had an impact on many lives, I know, but I want to take this time to tell you how important you are to me." Your love and encouragement have helped me through quite a few difficult times. Your zest for life is so inspiring. Then one day arrived this lovely purple lei. With it, a note from the postmaster in Sioux City, Iowa. It was a note apologizing for the damaged box in which Russell's gift had arrived. A note explaining that the parcel, delivered by airmail, had changed planes in Sioux City after a remarkable bumpy ride. As Auntie Mame lifted the beautiful box, an utterly undamaged living floral wreath from the crumpled box in which Russell had placed it. It all made sense somehow. This perfect symbol of the ultimately enduring friendship. Bright, beautiful flowers, unscathed, although recovered from the wreckage of United Airlines Flight 232.
Wow.
I said recovered from the wreckage of that airliner that crashed and burned at Sioux City on July 19th. Just a little gift for Auntie Malvin, but a silent, fragrant testimony to a love big enough to survive anything.
Wow. That is so neat.
The box.
The
is
box
like the boy.
survived. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Auntie Mame.
Auntie Mame. That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. Last story of the evening, folks.
This one's a good one.
This is a really good one. A little history lesson. We've had a few of them tonight.
Haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
So we have.
During the American Revolutionary War, General George Washington and British General Howe occasionally wrangled over the exchange of prisoners. More often than not, such bargaining escalated into arguing. And then October of 1776 came the Battle of Germantown. Washington and his troops defeated, withdrew, and after a long retreat, they set up camp at Pennypacker's Mills. And there, senior officers huddled to discuss what next. Now, the morning of the 6th was engulfed in fog. It was fog so dense that that one could quite get lost only a few yards from the most familiar object. Fog so impenetrable that one of General Howe's command might have become confused and groped his way right into George Washington's camp. Anyway, that's precisely what did happen. It was late in the afternoon before the hapless AWOLer actually surrendered to revolutionary officers. He offered no resistance of any kind. He simply quietly stood at attention, presenting only the essential dog tag information. Observing his bearing, American soldiers remarked at the excellence of the British training. He must be brought before General Washington at once, and he was. And upon their meeting, General Washington smiled. He patted the young prisoner on his shoulder and said, "Where are you from, boy?" The prisoner was silent. The officer who brought him in repeated the dog tag data he had learned outside. Washington stroked his chin thoughtfully. How might this situation be used to revolutionary advantage, he wondered, or this time, in this particular case, ought it be exploited at all? Anyway, while the aides waited for orders of disposition, the commander-in-chief pondered, and at last he spoke. The POW was not to be released. Rather, he was to be escorted back to his redcoat camp under the flag of truce. An aide gasped. General Howe was in Philadelphia by now, and Philadelphia was 25 miles away. But Washington, unblinking, continued. He said a communication party must attend the prisoner, must march forward unarmed and hail the enemy. Otherwise, the mission could end in disaster. The soldiers saluted and removed the prisoner. As they were doing so, General Washington called after them with final instructions. Their captive was to be well fed before the journey, well fed throughout the journey, and well cared for. Well, he was. No record exists of the British response to Washington's unique gesture. It is believed that the prisoner had gone AWOL during the Battle of Germantown, although not intentionally, and that once remanded to the British custody, he was not disciplined. According to the mutually agreed military code of the time, General Washington could have treated his captive as a spoil of war, could have done with him precisely whatever he wished, and also, according to the tradition of haggling over POWs, Washington might have used the young prisoner as a pawn. But the commander-in-chief did neither. There is no doubt as to why. Because he, like General Howe, was a lover of animals. The dog tag information obtained by revolutionary troops from their prisoner was taken from a real-life dog collar. For you see, despite the countless details of life and death significance which preoccupied the prospective father of his country, George Washington took the time to make the decision of which you have just learned, to give back something identified as the British commander's beloved personal property. And with this note, and I quote, General Washington does himself the pleasure to return to General Howe his dog.
His dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Except I don't know how to feel about that, because we love animals.
Yes.
But people are more important than animals.
Yes.
And in a time of war, to risk soldiers going into enemy territory.
And 25 miles.
Yeah.
That's a long way on foot.
I know. It is cool.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
It's really
It's a cool story, but
right.
I don't know if I would have made the same thing. I probably would have held on to the dog, kept it safe, protected.
Maybe till they were closer.
Yeah, maybe till they were closer, or there was
Right.
a way to communicate that would not have endangered anybody.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoy the stories.
Yeah.
We like bringing them to you. That's for sure. That said, though, we're going to call it a night.
Yeah.
But before we do, we have a Bible devotion that we do Monday through Friday, or in the morning. It's just a half hour long. There's no fighting. We just read scripture, unpack it, and lift each other up in prayer. And that's 8:30 in the morning and Central, but it's a different channel name. It's Big Family Devotions. I'll put that screen up here in a second.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that no matter where you're at, God's never going to leave you. God will never forsake you. He loves you so much. No matter who you are, no matter how bad you think you've been, He will forgive you, and He'll love you like the most amazing Father ever. And then some, times a million.
Yeah.
That said, we're going to pray. Father God, thank you so much for each and every one of these people here. Lord, I just ask that you would bless them and love on them. Let them know that you care. Amen.
Amen.
All righty, guys. Where is it? Is it right here?
There.
Have a
Yeah.
great night.
Bye.
Bye.
Let me dwell in your tent forever. Let me take refuge under the shelter of your wings. For you, O God, have heard my vows. You have given me the heritage of those who fear your name. Prolong the life of the King. May endure to all generations. Hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. May he be enthroned forever before God. Appoint steadfast love and faithfulness to watch over him, so I will ever sing praises to your name as I perform my vows day after day. Prolong the life of the King. May his years endure to all generations. Hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. So will I ever sing praises to your name as I perform my vows day after day. Hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. Hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. Hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than